Hey, it's Jody Taylor of Snacky Says. Welcome back to my podcast, the Snacky Says podcast. Today I have a short and sweet one for you, but before we get into today's topic and what I'm chatting about, I wanted to put two things on your radar, dear listener. Number one, did you know that I have a Gumroad shop? You can find it at snackyjody.gumroad.com. That's snacky, SNACKYJODDIE gumroad.com, and as usual, all links will be in the show notes. On my Gumroad page, you will find my private podcast, Snackers. This started out as a private podcast for my Snacky Says newsletter subscribers, and it's now open to all fans of Snacky Says. Check out my Gumroad for more details. Basically, on the private podcast, you're going to get behind the scenes, the life of a creative entrepreneur, what I'm thinking about, what I'm working on. Check it out. Next up, you will see the Fitness is a Lifetime Journey phone wallpaper. I'm so excited about this. This design, I worked with Christina Yu, who's an absolutely amazing and wonderful graphic designer. Fitness is a Lifetime Journey is basically my motto. It's my motto. It's what I live by, and I think it's applicable to everyone because fitness goes up and down, our interests change, our goals change, our fitness goals change, and it's a little guiding light to keep me going, and I hope to keep you going. The physical sticker will be out soon. You can expect a podcast episode all about that. I'm recording this right at the tail end of March. So in April 2024 for sure. So look out for that. The other thing I wanted to put on your radar was jody.substack.com, JODDIE.substack.com. I have been changing things a little bit. It's an ongoing process. Please check out my Substack. There you will find the podcast, my favorite things that I've spoken about on the podcast and in my newsletter. Of course, you will find a tab that will bring you to the archive of all Snacky Says newsletters and my offers. So if you're interested in working with me in purchasing a product or service, check it out. Okay, so that's jody.substack.com. And by changes, I mean I've been moving sections around, changing the colors, thanks to feedback from a listener and subscriber. I appreciate you. Thank you. If any of you have any feedback, either on the podcast or on jody.substack.com, please let me know. Oh, one more thing. I have another podcast. It's called Quick Story with Jody Taylor, me, and it's on Bcast. I will put the link in the show notes. It's exactly what it sounds like. Literally quick stories that I'm telling, true quick stories. They are 10 minutes or less. In fact, for season 1, which just wrapped up, I don't think there's an episode that is longer than 8 minutes. And that's at podcast.bcast.fm/quick story. Let me give that to you correctly. Podcast.bcast.fm/quick story, then quick-story. Links in the show notes. I hope you check it out. Okay, today I am chatting about things that you can do with your friends that don't involve going out to dinner or meeting up for lunch. Why am I chatting about this? Because my friend and I have had some not so great meals, and we have been thinking about other things that we can do. So, and I love to eat as much as the next person. I love to go out to eat. I love to chat over a meal, but it's just not working out. Like sometimes, especially nowadays, things are so expensive, and it's like, you know what? We could have done something else. So here are some ideas that I'm thinking for me and my friend, and I thought I would share them with you. And this totally depends on your preferences, but hopefully this will get some ideas sparked. So also check in your neighborhood. When you do a Google search, check near me, because that way you won't have to be traveling and going all out of your way. So things you could do: make soap. I did not know this, but there's somewhere in my area where you could take a class and make soap. And I was surprised to see that. And sure, I'm interested. Why not? Number 2, floral arrangements. This is something I'm not gifted at all. And I'm curious. So that might be fun to learn how to put together a proper floral arrangement. Next up, candle making. You can actually go into some places and make a candle on the spot, or take a class. Like there's somewhere There are a couple of places that I've seen where that's all they do. You go in a group, you can go on a date, you can go with your friend, and you can spend an evening making candles. All of these things I'm saying would also be fun, I think, for a group, let's say a group of 4 or 6. Tastings, fill in the blank. You could go to a chocolate tasting. You could go to a tea tasting or afternoon tea. Wine tasting. My friend and I stumbled upon balsamic vinegar. We had like a balsamic vinegar tasting. It wasn't like a class or anything. This place sold balsamic vinegar and you could walk around and taste the samples, which was new to us. Pizza making. If you enjoy pizza and you want to make it at home, you can take a class. And I think some of these things can be done online. If you are a longtime Snacky Says newsletter subscriber, you might recall that another friend and I did a cocktail class, an online cocktail class, and it was a bunch of fun. So it's something you can do, and we did it together. We huddled around one laptop and we did it together in the same place. But this could also work virtually if your bestie is in another city or state. Another course that I came across, it's in person, is at a catering place, and they do meal prep classes. And I thought that's really interesting. So you could get together with your friend, meal prep for like a week, and then presumably you get to keep the recipes and it's something you can repeat at home. So there you go. Those are some things I'm thinking about. And again, this will 150% rely on your preferences. So if you know you love coffee, forget about a tea tasting. You can go for a coffee tasting or learn more about coffee. Things that I've listed have a cost. I would also recommend checking out your local organizations like your public library, because sometimes they have awesome free or low cost events. Okay, that is it. If you got this far in our teeny tiny short and sweet episode, I appreciate you. If you enjoyed this episode or any of my podcast episodes, please share with a friend or 3. And of course, you can subscribe at jodie.substack.com. That's JODDIE.substack.com. Thank you for listening.